Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, of course, I thank you and greatly appreciate you. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. And of course, always leave a comment so we can dialogue. For those that are coming back, I greatly appreciate it that you found some on my channel that you thought was worth coming back, checking your girl out one more time. So today I have my daughter Kay.
Hey.
And we're going to do a video for you, and I'm going to let her tell you what this video is about. And we're hoping that this is maybe a series, be a part 1, 2, and 3, or so on and so forth. So today, this is Kay, and she's going to tell y'all what our video is about.
Hey, I'm Kay, and today we're going to be talking about things females feel like they can talk about with their moms. And a very requested comment was relationships, like outside of, the household, and how females feel like they can't be honest or open with their moms. And I totally agree because I'm very scared of judgment and worried about how my parents feel about a person I like, no matter the gender.
Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna get into this topics. Okay, I'm gonna allow you to just tell us a little bit about why is it your female friends or girlfriends or whatever feel like they can't talk to their moms about relationships.
Honestly, I feel like you can to a certain extent. And we all gotta understand that our mom is not our best friend, but she could be. But most of the time, if you are a teenager, she's not. And so I feel like it's certain things you don't tell your mom because you don't want her to feel some type of way. And do we all know how our moms be? Once you like somebody and then you don't like them for a certain reason, they'll never like them again. So I understand why you don't tell your parents everything because I don't tell my mom every argument that happens and like with what I have going on. I don't tell my mom about all that. Nor did I tell her like what's like not everything that's being said in a relationship. Now, when I'm down bad, I will come to her because I know she is very good at giving advice and like very in tune with God. So it helps. It helps me a lot with what I'm seeing because I know I'm just like I pray and everything, but sometimes you just need a more clear clarification basically. Because we all go to our friends and everything, and I know I do. I had to stop doing that because females gonna do what they want to do in their relationship, anyways. Like I just feel like sometimes it's a lot of stuff that you probably won't even be able to take to your mom because you gotta take it to God, and so it's a with me and my mom. I don't tell her everything because she very set in stone when you tell her something. So that's why. But I totally understand how everybody's feel about that.
But I think relationships for girls, I think is very important for girls to talk to their moms about relationships through and through. I know that there are some things that you may do, and you be like, I ain't gonna tell my mom that because she gonna be like, oh God, what you doing?
Yeah.
But then there are things for real, that you gotta be able to tell your mom because wisdom is everything.
Right.
And moms have, not all, I do have to recognize that. It's hard to recognize that because you would hope that everybody was an effective mom. But I do believe that that's not true for everybody. And I'm sorry. And I hope that God sends you a female mother figure that you can. But I do believe that moms have a certain level of wisdom that they have gained from living. And they can tell you. I remember when I fell in love with the first boy, and he told me I was all that, and I slept with him, and then it was like, oh my God, and so with time, I think you have to really become open to considering is your mom just talking
Right.
about what she want for you, or is
Or
she
it's
more
best
so
for
just
you.
trying to give you guidance?
Right.
And I know a lot of times that's hard to accept guidance from moms because you feel like, oh, she can't even understand. Oh my God.
But in some situations, moms do think they be knowing it all. And
Yeah,
sometimes we just need somebody to tell us it's gonna be okay. So
yeah.
I understand that. Because I just need somebody to tell me it's gonna be okay. But sometimes you have to stop her in her sentence and tell her that you just need her to tell you that it's okay, because I know a lot of parents, they like start telling how they feel about it, and then you feel like it's a lecture or a judgment.
Right.
But I just be trying to stop my mom sometimes and ask her, like, can you just tell me it's okay? Like, I don't need all that lecturing, because I already know how girls be like. We be going through it, and then like we need somebody to listen to us, and they feel like they just taking us down through there even more. So it's kind of like, so I understand that.
And see, I think too with girls, a lot of times we dismiss the importance of feedback from somebody who is older, because with our girlfriends, a lot of the times we'll listen to their feedback, but their feedback a lot of times line up with what we think, and so we really ain't got nowhere. And so it's kind of like, I think with adults sometimes, and I'm learning, and that one thing that I said that I was going to start doing is I'm going to say, when before you open your mouth, I'm going to say, am I here to listen, or am I here to give up? Are we here to talk? Because I think sometimes parents listen and you hear so much wrong in that conversation that you're like, I can't just get up and walk away from this and not tell her. But then on the flip side, sometimes talking and speaking out loud, you go back to yourself and like, now that I said it out loud, they don't even really, that dude don't even really sound like he bout none, or whatever the case may be. So I think with parents, sometimes you so, and that's one thing I've had to teach my girls, my kids, just in general. Most parents don't want to see their children hurt. So if you giving me information that I see as a setup for your heart being broken, then it's like, I gotta tell you A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then when your heart get broke, I'm gonna be like, that goes back to being praying and spending time with God. Because I may go and pray and spend time with God, and he be like, she gonna be straight. Yeah. Or I may go and pray God, and he may say, you need to tell her this. And so I think sometimes, and I'm having to learn that with them becoming their own adults, because I've been so used to protecting them, because me and my kids have been hands on their whole life. These have been my friends as well as my children, because I have put majority of my energy. So when they become adults and coming into themselves, you like, they gonna make so many stupid decisions. And she ain't gonna listen to me. And I realized that's the times I didn't listen to my mom. And I didn't listen to my mom because everything was always so cut and dry. Yeah. And so I didn't really feel like it was just a conversation to be had. And that's one of the things I've been trying to make room for my children. But my daughter here, who will tell you something and be like, when you hold her to it, it's like, but mama. And I feel like that's what accountability partners are for. So even if it's your friend, even if it's your parent, if you tell me I want to own my business, then your whole point is to be like, hey, good, when the last time you ordered some of this, or when the last time you did a promotion? And I feel like it's the same with relationships. If my daughter tell me, Mom, this dude did this, that, and the other, and I'm like, okay, Kay, ain't nobody perfect, this, that, and the other, we all fall short. Just pray about it. And you come back and you tell me something again, I'm be like, hey, now you remember 2 weeks ago, you said he did this, baby. Watch the track record. And I think a lot of times girls take it as parents just not liking a boy. Now, don't get me wrong, it's been some I just don't like.
Hold on, I ain't never introduced you to
No, not in your situation. There's some I just don't like, and I'm just like, yeah. But sometimes that's mom's intuition, and sometimes it's an expectation too. Kind of like, I expect her to be with the dude that's like this, like
and
that.
Sometimes I feel like moms have this idea of who they want you to be with, but sometimes that's just not who you're gonna be with. Right. And to be honest, I feel like in certain situations, with me and you, we're kind of like sweet people. Right. I mean, sometimes I mean, but then it's like Dion, like two different, like. Yeah. So I do feel like, because when you and Dion got married, I was like, well, didn't never see that coming. Not with it wasn't more so expectation, but something like. Well, I guess you can say it was an expectation. It's not like when you was with Dion. It's like a bad expectation. It's just like, whoa, mama's so all in church and all. Yeah. So it's kind of like some parents do have expectations for you that I feel like sometimes can be too high, but also sometimes we don't allow our moms to know who we are.
Right. Yeah.
And so she probably we probably grew up with what she taught us, but we are our own people at the end of the day. And like the less conversations you have, the less they know.
Right.
And so it's kind of like, well, okay, I thought you liked this guy. And like maybe 3 years ago I did, but it's kind of
Right.
like I'm older, views change. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I feel like sometimes females do feel a little pressure when it comes to a certain guy because maybe he's not the ideal, but maybe
Right.
he's somebody that what I'm saying,
Right.
really actually like them, genuinely care for them.
Right.
And so yeah.
And I think too, because as grown women, we have come to learn that young ladies, and even some grown women, are driven by emotions to the
Right.
degree that sometimes we don't give a thing time. Or
Right.
sometimes we like this person, then we don't like them. Or you kiss this boy, but then next week you kissing this boy, and it's kind of like if you don't really take the time to decipher why you want to move on from this person or why you think this person is a good fit. So I think at the end of the day, most parents are really trying to get you to think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not really more so make your decisions for you, but to just say, let me give you these nuggets. And then you go back to the drawing board and you ask yourself why you want to go to the right versus to the
But
left.
sometimes there's pressure.
I think it come across as pressure because most people just want to make a decision. And I think that's kind of like, it's like, well, if I like him, why I can't just talk to him?
I be wanting to make the right decision. That's why I'm so
Yeah.
hesitant. I be like, man, this topic gets me emotional.
I know. But I mean, I don't really think, we're not going to always make the right decisions. I think, but when you have somebody in your life that can give you nuggets, I think the whole point of the nuggets is to take them back to God and take them back to your quiet time and say, you know what? It gave me this.
Yeah.
And I think like with people been saying that like when they go to an event and they're in a room,
Yeah.
they just take notes to kind of go back and reflect, not necessarily to mean it gotta be for their life, but to be able to go back and be like, what, that was a good point. That was a good point. Or whatever. But I think like you said, daughters, moms don't really know their daughters as they change. And then for moms, a lot of times we have gotten so used to parenting little kids that when you become into your own person, it's having to relearn how to
marry.
right, and having to relearn that her personality may not be her personality that it was at 10 years old. And so I think with that is a lot. So so what do you think like with like just overall, why do you think? Because we see in the younger generation, we do see that girls are making more and more bad choices when it comes to boyfriends. Like,
well, to be honest, I don't feel like everybody is like. I mean, yeah, females. In my opinion, I feel like more females in this generation are making more mistakes because not to judge anyone's parents, but some parents try to be too much of a friend when it's time to be a mom. And like I be needing her to be my friend sometimes, and sometimes I don't come to her because I know like in this situation my mom is not gonna be my friend. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like more parents are like, oh yeah, I'm trying to be your friend, trying to have a relationship with you. Just because most parents don't want you to drift away or anything. You can have a mother-daughter relationship that's golden, but it's just like some parents be like so caught up in, oh my gosh, I need to be my daughter's friend or my son's friend. And I mean, I do want to be that parent that you can come to and tell me everything. But I also want you to know that, and it's a time and a place where you can do everything, and I want you to feel like that. If I'm your mom, I am gonna tell you what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna judge you or anything. So I feel like in most situations, females are like in our generation, females are very out of hand because sometimes moms don't want to be moms, and then the father figure at times. But I feel like if we're just talking about mothers and daughters, sometimes moms just don't know how to be a mom or don't want to be a mom. And they just more so trying to be your friend, and females get caught up in, well, my mama let me do this, and then they get to a point where your mom doing what you're doing, and you're a teenager, and she's a grown woman, and it's like, well, I see my mom do it, So I personally feel like that's a part of this generation, like some females just weren't raised, you know, to respect yourself and know your worth and know like some of these guys just don't cherish, your little heart, stuff like that. So, I mean, and also guys are very manipulative at times. Some guys are, and I mean, women are like, I mean, females have like this soft heart. They believe everything, and so I feel like sometimes it's like self blame, but at the same time, you can't really blame yourself because I mean, you gotta go through life and experience things for yourself. And whether you tell your mom or not, it's just at least it's a learning experience for yourself. And so I feel like everybody gonna make decisions. You just gotta choose if like you want to keep making the same decisions.
How big of a role do you think it played in being able to talk to your mom about? Because I don't
What?
like how important is it
Talk
to
to your
be
mom?
able or to feel confident enough in being able to talk to your mom about at least 95% of stuff, because I feel like there's always that 5% that you be like, man, if I tell my mom this, it's just but how important do you feel
I
that
feel
is?
like, whew, well, in my opinion, I don't have a lot of friends, and so it's kind of like there's some friends that'll listen to you, but they also doing like, girl, why? Like I'm over here looking at you like, girl, why is you doing this? Like, why are you taking yourself through that? But you trying to help me and be my counselor and stuff like that. So I feel like it is very. I feel like on a rate of 1 to 10, it's like a 9 to have your mom like involved in your life. But I'm not saying tell her everything because it's very understandable. Your mom's not gonna know your whole life. And so I do feel like, but 9 times out of 10, it's very important to talk to your mom because I don't have no friends for real. And like, Lord, I need to tell my mom everything most of the time because I mean, she give me the best advice. Like I feel like friends want to tell you what you want to hear, and like that is not. No, so I was like, I need my mom, like, cause I tell you stuff, but like at a time, it was a time where I had a situation occur in my relationship, whatever, and like I was crying. I just had to tell mom, cause I'm like, Lord Jesus, if I don't tell her, I don't know who I'm gonna tell, and I'm like, and then all these, your friends. They ain't gonna be like, well, girl, just pray and like you need a good outweigh the bad and stuff. They just gonna be like, girl, I just think you need that, girl. I don't know. So like my mom, I feel like every mom has some wisdom that they can at least give to you, even if it's a little bit. I feel like it's important. It's very important. And even if you're not like 100% always telling your mom everything, I feel like your mom do play a big part in your life because I love my mom and I tell her everything. Like, but besides stuff that she's gonna judge me about, I tell her almost everything.
I won't judge. I just tell her what's right.
Because,
for
but
it.
I understand what y'all, where females are coming from when it comes to relationship. Because I mean, I feel like as kids, I feel like kids do go through a lot.
Yeah.
As teenagers in high school, yeah. And so I feel like, and then like on social media, you expect to look a type of way or act a type of way because people gonna see you like, how y'all say talk. If you go out on different dates with different guys, they gonna be like, she talking to everybody. But no, I'm just exploring my options.
Right.
But in this generation, it's talking to everybody. And
Right.
like, nobody want to talk to you because, I mean, everybody got, what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, everybody went on a date with you or something like
Right.
that. And then, like, so I just feel like in this generation, it's kind of like important to have a relationship with your mom, and I can totally understand like the people that do have a relationship with their mom, but to a certain extent, because I mean, at the same time, and not everybody's gonna be 100% honest with you, but and most, of course, your parents gonna be here for you, and I feel like it's a learning experience for parents and kids. Like, I do need my mom, but at the same time, I need my mom to realize that I do need a friend sometimes, so
So how do you feel? Like, how do you feel a mom's dating? How does that affect a daughter? Like, if you see your mom date, or she always talking to somebody different, or she been with the same person for a long time, but the relationship is stagnant, or like, how do you think? Do you think that play a part into how girls
I feel
date?
like my mom has never like just brought men in and out the house, and I feel like for certain parents that do not, I'm not calling judging anybody. I just feel like daughters. I mean, of course, your daughter gonna look up to your mom. I mean, she can look up to her dad, but sons look up to their dad, daughters look up to their mom.
Right.
So I feel like in that situation, if I see my mom like bringing guys in and out the house, I'm gonna walk out this house not thinking nothing of it. Like if I'm thinking like, well, my mama do this all the time, I'm gonna be this is normal. But honestly and truly, I'm out here being labeled all these different types of names because what I've seen growing up, and I feel like relationships with I feel like sometimes kids should not see what goes on in like grown folks relationship. So like if my mom with her boyfriend or her husband for a long period of time, but throughout the relationship all I hear is arguing and arguing, and like and I feel like I'm around it all the time. I feel like this is toxic, and like I'm not learning nothing. I need to see like I need my mom to my mom, she could, she clean all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I was raised I seen cooking and cleaning. I know that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in certain situations, like relationships that your mom have in the same household that you live in can truly affect you in a positive or a negative way. It's just all how your mom carries herself and has to realize like, well, I do have a daughter. She gotta look up to me. I have to raise her right. I have to show her the way. And I mean, maybe her way is not your way, but it's it's better to see what you can and should do rather than what you shouldn't, and I just understand some people don't have guidance and stuff like that. So I feel like yes, sometimes your household can affect the way you live on the outside and how.
So when you think about, like, I know everybody are not praying people or
Right.
believe in God or whatever. How often do you feel like um we need the spiritual, we need the real, and we need to just the your life story part? You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like sometimes um I know for me with my mom it was always just because I said so. But a lot of times when we talk, I try to give y'all a spiritual perspective. And then, of course, I give y'all my opinion or whatever. But how important is it to have a mixture of deliverance of a message? So, how is important is it to have some spiritual, have some real, have some whatever?
To be honest, when I get older, I'm not telling my kids my when I if I experience all this stuff, I would want my mom to tell me that like I've been through that and I was this age and guys, you know what I'm saying? I would want her to tell me her life story, but I don't feel like that's something I need to hear every time.
Right.
So I feel like telling your past can benefit in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's not benefiting you at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
don't think it's like, oh my God, this is gonna hurt me. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're telling me this is gonna hurt me. So I feel like that your story could be told once or
Mm-hmm.
twice. It could be told to worldwide people, but as your daughter, I feel like your
Right.
story could be told to me once or
Mm-hmm.
twice. But like, and when I need the real, I think I need the real probably 100% of the time. I just need you to be honest. I feel like, but sometimes you can just slack a little back because everybody don't want your honesty all the time because it do be hurting. But I appreciate honesty over anything, and I feel like when it comes to spiritual, I honestly do feel like you need that 100% of the time because this world is so misconstrued, and I feel like so many people don't know God, and I feel like if you don't know how, you're gonna get stuck. So 100% of the time spiritual. I would prefer 100% of the time, honestly. But I mean, if you can give me 90%, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But also like your backstory can be told to me once or twice, but I don't feel like it's something that I need to hear all the time. You know?
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think that you see in like in relationships with teenagers now that you feel like you kind of wish that moms would just get? Like it's just a thing. If there is anything, like it's just that's just what we doing in this generation, mom. Like, would it be a thing?
I mean, you like how like matching shirts, so
Right. The
just a
FaceTime all the
thing.
time on the phone.
Going to sleep on the FaceTime is just a thing, and we like it. I feel like parents need to understand that, and also, I'm not saying spend every day with your man or your other person, the person you like, but I feel like some parents need to understand that, oh man, one day probably ain't gonna get it. Like, you know, you be wanting to be like, Mom, can I go with my friends on Friday? Can I go with my friends Saturday night? Like that. I feel, and then, you know, parents be like, you just went out yesterday. I feel like some parents need to understand, like, man, I understand because, I mean, I understand, like, your safety issues and stuff like that, but I feel like some parents do be like, "Why would you go out how I used to go out?" But like generations so different now. It's kind of like, well, all my people do is hang out,
Right.
like, and then I know like homebodies. I used to be one of those. I still
She still
am.
like to sleep.
Yeah. So I feel like when you do get invited out, it's like, man, I gotta take advantage of this because I didn't take advantage of my 11th grade year. I was like, man, my mom said no. Like, no, I
Lying
was
on me.
never,
Lying on me.
I would never really go out and stuff. But like, the little people I do talk to try and get me out when I can. And I feel like some parents need to normalize, like, well, I mean, 3 days won't hurt. Even if it's spread out in the week, like 3 days won't hurt for me just like for me to just let them go hang or something like that. Or like yeah. So just hanging out and stuff like that. Or like um normalizing age difference. Understanding age difference. Because I mean, some stuff is just like outrageous. Like this is not gonna happen. But I feel like some parents, I feel like you have to know your kid.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you know who your kid is, then age difference should play a role, but it should be like no, like this is not. So I feel like age difference and maybe like freedom when it comes to relationships. Maybe parents could be more understanding.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think the managing part of how much kids see each other is to try the best to keep. Because I feel like the more time you spend, the more things that are liable to happen that you're trying to keep your child away from. Because anything you give too much time to eventually leads to something else.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say if we dated one time that we ain't gonna have sex versus if we date 3 times we ain't gonna have sex.
Right.
But what I'm saying is if you're really trying to not put yourself in a situation where you're tempted all the time, it's kind of like if you like a glass of wine, but you get to the point where every day you need a glass of wine. Before you know it, a year has passed and you're an alcoholic because you gotta have that glass of wine. And I think with girls attach themselves so easily that a lot of times you spend more time with this guy to when things don't work out, your life is just devastated.
Right.
And I think the more time girls give to boys, a lot of times shape the way they want to do their future. Not all young ladies, but a lot of young ladies, they've been kicking it, hanging out. Now you want me to up and go off to school. Now you want me to focus on this. Now you want me to move. Now you want me to do this. Because you've given so much of your life to this other person and you ain't even sought through who you want to be or where you going.
But I think females also, with that, like, oh my gosh, I gotta move here because he moving and all that. So I think we're gonna be together.
Right.
I feel like that also comes with not knowing that, like, it's like sometimes I feel like females don't understand that it's okay to come first. Like,
Right.
if you already had set in stone plans, like for my, oh, I'm gonna go to Alabama, and I just know I'm gonna be a lifeguard and all this stuff, and then he come in my life, and I'm hanging with him every day, and then I'm like throwing my plans out the window,
Right.
like, okay, we can go to Jeff State and
Yeah.
have an apartment and get a dog, and like I'm not even ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like some females just gotta realize when they should put themselves first, because it's okay to put yourselves first. Yeah, I'm still learning that to this day. So yeah,
And see, that's what I think. Like I think, like how you said that, a lot of mamas or parents are trying to get their girls to remember the importance of that. So by kind of micromanaging their relationship, you kind of feel like, well, I don't let them see it all the time. She won't get so attached
yeah.
that she won't be able to go and do
But also,
what she
when parents restrict you like all the time, it's like, man, it like why? Like
Yeah.
I want to, like,
Right.
but I feel like some
that
parents,
balance.
yeah, I feel like you gotta have a balance, like,
And you have to have a reason to. I feel like a
yeah.
lot of times where it's no or whatever, kind of like how we discussing. Well, the reason the answer is not always yes is because too much time with this boy
Yeah.
may confuse you on what you want to do, because you may feel like, well, we doing great.
But at the same time, shouldn't you know your kid?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But sometimes you do know your kid.
Yeah, but you just like,
know.
yeah, oh my gosh, she's gonna change her plan.
She gonna change her plans. So I know that this child of mine is clingy.
Right.
So if she go out here and spending 3-4 days a week with this boy, in 2 months she ain't gonna want to never spend time with this boy. So I do believe that it's essential to know who your children are and how focused they are. But I have seen some very focused women take a whole life detour because of a man. And so I think for moms, you just trying to hope that your child don't get stuck. And then 10 years from now, you like, man, I wanted to go to college. You know, I done had 3 babies, and me and this dude ain't even together no more. I ain't got my degree. And so that's what I think. But it's just like, I think moms and daughters, for my generation, moms have been programmed to kind of just be the mom. Yeah. And so in being the mom, sometimes you disconnect what that friend is needed.
Yeah, and then kids be like, man, I never talk to my mom. I
Right.
never talk to my mom.
And so I think it's important for us to kind of understand like what relationships mean to y'all. Yeah. Because I mean, back in the day when we was younger,
dating was different.
Yeah, but we did fall asleep on the phone. We did, but we didn't have FaceTime, and we wasn't allowed to always, like, even be on the weekend, you know, mama, when you can stay up late and stuff like that. But it was rules and boundaries, because too much of anything can be a distraction. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And I'm a firm believer in how we talk about taking time to spend time with God. If all your extra time is spent talking to this boy, then how do you make time for room for God to even tell you if this the boy you need to be giving your time to? And I am a firm believer in dating. Dating, I'm a firm believer, because I feel like sometimes you can like somebody so much, and he can be telling you, a lot of times these boys be in so many ways told you, I ain't ready for this commitment thing, but you been put all your eggs in that one basket, and he be like, options, right, and he kind of be like, well, I told you in so many words. So I think it's essential to encourage girls to have friends. And when you really decide you like a boy, that's when you zone in. But to just start dating this boy, like, that's bad. You know.
Yeah, don't introduce all the guys you talk to your mom, because I'm only introduced to one.
3.
One.
I feel like anybody that you feeling like could go to the next level, you need to tell your parent about.
Yeah, I mean, tell them about him, but not like, Mom, you meet this man.
Yeah, because you're like, I ain't even sure if I'm
and then
like
there's a lot of stuff like, because
right.
I thought I liked it. Like, sometimes you think you like a guy so much, and then you get with him, and you like, oh my god, I didn't even know he was judgmental. Like, he like clingy. Yes, like, or like, oh, he not going his good. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, cause I feel like everybody gotta go through that honey bun phase, where you're like, oh, everything's so perfect, but like, cause females do be quick to jump in a relationship because they want to say they taking and stuff. I feel like you actually got to get to know a person like Q&A. Yeah. Like Q&A, actually, like, know how this person is in person. Like, yes, this somebody takes my mom. Like, he not putting on the act when he meet her.
Right.
This is him.
Right.
And so I feel like females be so quick to call themselves taken or get in a relationship before they actually sit down and actually realize know if they want to be in a relationship with this person.
Right.
Because just because you like somebody don't mean you should be with them.
That is true. That's for women too, because I know we with some people that we be like, but you know, and I think it's very important for you to kind of be mature enough to weed out who is worth introducing and who is not. But I feel like when you're friends with guys, get to the point to be able to say, this ain't even worth crossing the boundaries to call you a boyfriend. You know,
Right.
then I think it's very important too for girls to be able to come to their mom and say, I've been talking to this little boy as a friend for probably about 2 or 3 months, and I just want to run something by you because you know we thinking about becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. Or he asked me, and I ain't really sure. I am sure, but let me give you this information
Right.
so that your parents can kind of be like, okay, you didn't put enough time and thought into it, because I think at the end of the day, for most moms, you just really want your children to be efficient in making wise decisions. That's really what you want, for them to be able to come to you with their own logic to say, this is this, and this is what I arrived at, and then be able to kind of tell them, well, yeah, okay, you on track, or well, you're a little off track. Let me add this to it.
But every parent isn't, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
isn't the same.
That's true.
Some people don't know how to talk without lecturing or
Right.
talk without like, oh my God, you're disgusting. You should never do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So I feel like at the same time, even though we going to God about things like, man, I need to know God, should I take this to my mom or
Right.
you know, something like that. I feel like also moms should take the time to be like, God, just give me like, you know how you told me like, give me right attitude for
Right.
this conversation, or
Right.
you know, so or be more open and not too trying. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, I need a mom and I don't need a friend. I mean, I know I'm gonna get a little spice of a mom, but I just need you to be like, girl, okay, okay, girl. So at the same time, I understand. But I feel like parents sometimes you need to be considerate of how their kid will feel like, because we all got feelings.
Right.
I just feel like sometimes parents need to be like, well, maybe I need to come off less. Why you do that? You should never do that.
Right.
And more, okay, well, I mean, I understand you made mistakes, or I understand, like, you know what I'm saying, but we can, you know, talk about it together, or like, this guy's not for you. Instead of being like, oh my God, how could you be so stupid to fall for somebody? Like, I need somebody, this guy's not for you. I'm just going to tell you, be honest with you. I don't need all that harsh, like, judgment. Because I'm very sensitive, so I'd be like, dang, they kind of hurt my heart. So, yeah, I feel like as parents and mothers, we could possibly just pray together, like, God, just give us the right like tone for this whole conversation that's gonna go down.
That is a good thing. And I think a lot of times too, you know, being married, we've been taught to kind of just pray for the right tone when you talk to your husband, pray for the right attitude, pray that it's the right time. Because if you talk to somebody and they had a rough day, they may respond to you in a way that really hurts your feelings or something like that. So it's a time and a place for everything. And the words say to pray about all things. So if I pray, I'll understand, okay, I need to be in this type of posture to talk to my daughter, or whatever the case may be. So I do believe that it's very important. But if you had anything that you would give to your generation of young ladies in regards to talking to a mother or a mother figure, what would you tell them to encourage them if they have the type of environment? What kind of advice would you give to them about approaching a conversation with a solid mother figure or mom, not somebody that they already know that this just ain't gonna happen?
Approaching the conversation
with a mom. And I'm talking about like a mom that they can talk to, but they haven't been able to talk to them about relationships because they don't know how or what was okay.
I feel like in this situation, most females would be very sensitive, like, and emotional. So I feel like at this time, the way I would talk to my mom, I'd be like, I just need to sit down, need to have a talk. I'd probably start crying, but I need to have a talk. I just need you to be 100% honest. I need you to be my friend at this moment. I don't need you to lecture me. I just need to be like, just be honest and please be my friend, because we don't have a lot of them. So I feel like I would just honestly be like, well, Mom, I feel like I got something on my heart that I may have not told you, or that I need to tell you, or that's just been heavy on me. I feel like I need guidance. I mean, maybe I'm praying, but maybe I do need my mom. Like, maybe I need my mom too. So I'd be like, Mom, I just need you. Like, at this very moment, I need you to be my friend, please.
Right.
Like, and then like if you open, like if your mom open to it, like, you know, I ain't saying just throw it all on the table, because you just never know how parents gonna react. But just be like, well, just ease it in there, and the relationship get better. Sometimes you just want to tell her all the time, because you're like, man, it's heavy on my heart. I just need to tell her. But at the same time, I feel like the way I approach you, like, it all depends on how you react towards me. Like, if I'm like, man, Mom, I just need to, and you just like, I just don't feel like talking to you. Everything that go on with you is like I always have to tell you wrong and right. I don't like. I know I might be making mistakes, but I just need you to be like, okay, well, I can be your friend right now for 5 minutes, 30 minutes. I can tell you like, girl, this is not right. Okay, I understand. But yeah, I feel like daughters should just be like, Mom, I just need a friend.
So just
like,
set it up.
Yeah, I just need a friend, Mom. Or like older kids, like, Mom, can we just set a date?
Right.
And I need to get a lot off my chest. So I want you to be out, because I want you to be prepared. Like, I want to be like, open heart, open mind to anything.
Right.
I don't need like you to be negative. So I don't feel like at the time your daughter should be like, well, Mom, I gotta tell you about this and tell you about this. Now you thinking and you like, oh, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to react. So I feel like most daughters be like, Mom, we just need to go on a date, or can I just have an hour with you in the room? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So maybe like that.
That's good. That's real good. And I think like with for moms, I'm gonna speak to the moms. I think it's very important to be in a prayer posture when it's time when you have to deal with your kids, because sometimes you can get so caught up in you that you lose sight of exactly who you're dealing with before you.
Right.
So I think if you kind of go, and that's one of the things I'm having to learn with just dealing with my older children, like I gotta handle them. I'm still their mother. I gotta figure out how to parent, but parent differently.
Right.
And so I think it's very important with the teenage girls going through the things that they go through, and with
And
social media.
Kids,
Yeah.
So
And their personality is so different. And going to social media, and social media is so brutal, and it will eat you up and spit you out. So I think when it comes to the mother, the last thing you want her to do is chew you up and spit you out.
Right.
And I made it my business not to make my kids feel like they just horrible people for making bad choices and this, that, and the other, but learning to be like, it's just a moment I respond.
Right.
Or it's just a moment I just listen. And I think it's very important for moms to date their daughters. And I'm praying and hoping when this COVID gets all over, we're gonna do a mother's daughter luncheon and just get together and talk about some stuff. But I think it's important, and I have a habit of taking dates with each one of my children, and we go eat. Or
bad habit.
That's bad habit, because we spend money and we eat the things we don't need to eat. But it's our time, it's our moment, and those are the times that we can't get back. And it's the time we able to really share. But actually taking the time to set yourself up for that moment, I think is very important.
Right.
Like what Kay was saying, Mom, I need you to be a friend right now, because it puts me in a perspective to say, even though I want to be a mom, I'm gonna give my daughter what she asked for, because the job is to get them what they need, and not what you think they need, but what they're telling you they need at the moment.
Like when you like, I need a friend, and you full mom.
It's kind of like, you know what? And so I'm having to learn that, especially like I said with my older kids, like you don't need me to really say this, because they grown, and they need me to kind of more so just listen, or just say 1-2 words and move on with it. And so I want to encourage moms to really take the time to hear your daughter's heart, and to shut that. And I know it's a lot of moms who big time social media, but that's a problem. Strolling all the time on social media and really ain't got the time. I don't have Facebook on my phone. I have Instagram, but it's just because I post stuff spiritually from here and there. But I think it's such a distraction that sometimes you so busy and caught up that you miss out on the time you need, especially with your daughters, because the dudes are out here to tell them
and break your heart.
And break your heart. But there's some good young men out here because I got some good sons and they good guys. And Kay has talked to a nice young man and so on and so forth. But you have to be able to position your children for what's to come, while all at the same time respecting who they are and what they desiring in that season. So moms, hats off to you for doing what you do. Hats off to the single moms who having to learn how to do both. But at the end of the day, our girls need us to be able to be not only honest but an example. They really do need to see it, like you heard Kay say. And I've never just brought random dudes around, so on and so forth, and no judgment to anybody. But we do have to realize the impact that our decisions make on our children, and creating that free space. And I know in my generation we was taught to just tell children what to do and go on about their business, but that hasn't worked. That hasn't worked for us. We just dealt with it and learned how to build upon it. But to tear it down and do something new so that everybody can prosper and become the person God created them to be, it's the ultimate goal. And I tell my children all the time, I don't want you to be who I want you to be. I just want you to have a vision for yourself, because where there is a vision, God can show me how to help you. And so that is we greatly appreciate y'all taking the time to come and check out our video. There will be a part 2, and I guess we'll touch on the topic of girls wish they could talk to their mom about sex. And so that was one of the things that Kay said that her friends commented about and said, well, one of the things that girl wants to talk to, because what we don't talk about, we don't understand. And so, Kay, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we close out this video?
I'll be having a YouTube up next year. Y'all can just go and check it out when it's posted. Thank you.
Yes. So of course, as you continue to follow me and turn on that notification, and when her video drop, of course, we are on her first time for YouTube. We'll share it and put it in the link below. And we just greatly appreciate y'all taking the time. Take the time to talk to your daughters. Take the time to talk to your moms. And we honestly do understand that this is not everybody's situation. Everybody is not blessed to have a mom that they can talk to, and we sympathize with you and pray for you. But we do pray that God will send somebody, even if it need to be me. I'll put my email below if you just want to talk or dialogue, or even if you want to reach out to Kay, just a young lady to a young lady. We encourage that as well. But we definitely want our young ladies to get in a place of feeling safe enough to talk, because when they're safe enough to talk, they'll make better decisions and they have a better future, and they cut down on a whole lot of extra hurt. So we don't want to walk around living in hurt all the time over and over because they don't feel like they have anybody. Right. So I want to thank Kay for taking the time to do this video with me. She has taught me a lot just in this moment. And I'm about to get teary out because I think sometimes we lose sight of how much we can learn from our children. And I know, for so long we have lived in a position of adults are right. And I've tried to not bring that mentality into my household, but sometimes in protection safe mode, you do unintentionally. And so being able to know that you will always be a student of life, meaning that there will always be something you can learn from anybody, but especially when your children can pour something into you to make you a better mom or a better dad, you are truly blessed. And so we are here before you. This was not rehearsed. We didn't get a chance to talk about it beforehand, because if so, you wouldn't have seen the tears that you have seen. But we pray that it truly blesses you. And just continue to pray for us as we're growing and we're becoming better individuals as well as a family. And we're definitely looking forward to this COVID thing being over so that we can do a mother-daughter get together. Did one with Cancer Friends about 2 years ago, and it was phenomenal. We had a great time. So very fun, very encouraging. And so we would like to do that. And if the push comes to shove, we have to set up a Zoom with mothers and daughters like this just to talk about some things. We can go that route. But the ultimate goal is to be in person, so we can get to know y'all and talk and eat, because we like to fellowship and eat, of course. So y'all have a blessed day. Continue to pray for your girl Marquita. I thank God for the tears, because as we know, God catches every one of them just to make us better. So y'all be blessed. And Kay, anything you want to say before we out?
If you guys want to DM me, my Instagram will be below.
Yes, it will be. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day.